Is it recording? Yes. So something is my favorite is Mr. Jack Ma, which he always inspires me. What he said is the opportunities that everyone cannot see are the real time opportunities. So that's really inspired us, and we to start working on the gaps where all needs to be happen. And what also he said was, when you really have a great idea and you really want to make success, you need to have brilliant people with you. You need to collaborate with brainy people to make it successful. And when you have such kind of an alliances, the vision actually becomes very easy to execute. So that's where my entire team actually started searching for the talented people, the brilliant people, and so far we all are here. And what we wanted to do, the idea is, I just want to know the idea we named as Bratz. I just want to run it, the logo.
One thing that I really treasure, basis my experience of what I've seen, is interacting with people. And having been through this entire aspect of our educational system and what we've done so far, I think I'm supremely excited that we have some sort of an initiative where we are trying to bridge the gap between industry and institutions.
Mentorship in the Indian ethos has always existed, right? The Guru Shishya Parampara was actually a mentoring way of teaching. It was not just teaching, it's also taking care of your pupil in many other ways and making sure of their well-being in their professional world.
Bratz has advertising bang in the middle of it, so you have BRATS. And advertising really is the fuel that is driving a whole lot of economic progress and social progress across the country, because it leads to better commerce, better economy. The International Advertising Association is one of the largest association of advertising associations across the world. It's a global body present in over 72 countries with local chapters.
What is the quality of education today? When I'm saying that, what I mean is, what is it that needs to be improved, or what are we lacking?
Now, when you talk about the quality of education, very ideologically we think education should be something that will be capable of making a person economically productive. Technology has started taking a big role, and it has started inserting into our education as a system. But we are moving away a lot from understanding and going.
Here we are talking about internships. Most of the internship projects the kids work on, some is like just certificates, some is a project that goes their way saying, oh, this is the problem, can you solve for it? Can you not ask corporates? And again, I +1 to the idea of 6 months. 2 months, I don't think anyone can learn anything on an internship. It's just about, okay, going, solving that particular problem, creating a deck, presenting a solution. That solution, after that, nobody even looks at it. Honestly, that's what happens. Can't you go back to the institutes, ask them for a 6 months time? Can't we do it in a way where actually the students are something like a Shark Tank, where they are pitching an idea saying that, oh, this is the kind of project I have in mind and I want to solve for and I want to work towards. See what the corporates are interested in some of those ideas. Together assign a mentor from the corporate, assign a mentor from the institutes, together work on that particular idea, build that idea, because that idea is conceptualized by the student, maybe in their own interest area, and eventually they are trying to solve for a particular problem or a long period of time, and they are actually getting mentorship across.
Right now the examination system is like a memory test. How much can you remember and how much can you reproduce within those 3 hours? And and the future of your career and life gets decided based on that. So I think we need to move away first from that evaluation system. If the evaluation system changes, then automatically we will the way we work it up to the evaluation will change.
when we had our summer vacations, we normally used to have that time to chill out. But today in colleges, when people have summer vacations, they normally would want to work for a company. They would normally would want to have an internship. You know, they want to. I mean, there's a lot of aggressiveness. There's a lot of self-drive in these students who want to improve on themselves.
I'm very enlightened with all the thoughts which I heard today, and what Karthik said, I completely agree. I think we have to find a way where we can probably involve students more in terms of not really project, but in terms of problem solving. The very high-level thoughts which I have about education is that I believe education is you divide it between three parts. One is literacy. Second is the value system, and third is being aware. And now, if I have to put these three parts in the context of what we do on the corporate side, so literacy is about what job you have to do. Value system is about how you get involved in the DNA of the company, how you grow yourself along with the company. And then being aware is about how progressive you are, how forward-looking you are, and how is that you can help build the company. So I think that these three parts are pretty important if you look at the education system. And it's really a great forum, and if I'll be more than happy if I can contribute in terms of being a mentor. This whole approach of what Karthik said, we have to be mentors, not teachers. More than happy, and all the best to Suresh.
That's about it. That's a Bombay Brats launch. Over to Urvi. Please, can you start with Bishank's interview, then introduction, then we can start our webinar. Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody is doing well.
Good evening, all. Welcome you all for today's webinar, and we have Mr. Abhishank Babbar today with us. He's going to talk about brand during COVID-19. Welcome, Abhishank.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So let me just give a brief introduction about your journey till now. So Mr. Abhishank is an integrated communication consultant. He counsels and advises diverse companies on marketing communication, digital and social media marketing, influencer engagement, crisis and issues. He has been responsible for multiple award-winning campaigns for clients from across practices ranging from brands and consumer technology to government mandates in the past. An IIFT alumnus, Abhishank is involved in conducting lectures and workshops for various B schools and institutes on topic ranging from digital marketing, integrated communication, and storytelling. He has been named among the 30 under 30 class of 2018 by Social Samosa, which recognizes social media professionals for their contribution to the Indian social media industry. Welcome, Abhishank. Over to you.
Thank you, Suresh. Thank you, Urvi. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. It's a pretty exciting time all of us are living in, and the kind of platform that Brats has created, I think it's wonderful for not just to learn from each other, but more importantly to be just connected, right? I mean, that's really important for us to be connected during these times and kind of learn from each other and grow together. I believe that's something which is really important. So topic as they mentioned, it's brand during COVID. While it's already been talked about myself, I work with Genesis BCW. It's a global firm that takes care of communications for brands. And my role, she already has talked about. I want to talk about something really interesting, which you will see as is the second last point here, which actually talks about the employee advocacy program. I believe all of us have heard about influencer outreach. That's something that we all just keep on talking about. This is where I have been running a program for the past 3 years or so, wherein we are trying to nurture and train employees of organizations to become advocates for the brands. I have trained around 1,000 plus employees till now. And these includes your sustained year-long campaigns to make sure that they are more active on social, how are they engaging, and then there are impacts that we are kind of measuring in terms of how maybe say advertising spends go down of brands because of these organic reach that we are able to get. That's an exciting program, but that's a discussion for maybe another session altogether. Uh, Quickly talking about the world that we're living in. I think it's something that we all know about. We all have discussed about it. Quarantines and lockdowns and COVID idiots, all these different keywords that are being thrown at us across, on social, in our lives. We are trying to get accustomed to all these different words and trying to understand what they really mean. And that's the kind of world that we're living in, right? But one thing that I genuinely believe in, and I think you also will kind of agree with it, is this statement that you see on the screen, which is that COVID-19 is not just a temporary disruption. It is creating that paradigm shift that is going on in how we live, and our businesses actually are going on at this point of time. And it has been a bittersweet journey when you think about it. When you look at some of these industries, and I think you can make out these industries that I'm actually talking about, from travel to cinemas to automobile, which actually have gone down drastically. Maruti sometime back reported that there have been zero sales in one of the months. It's just phenomenal when you think about it, right? That's the kind of world that we are living in. And then there are industries that have been performing brilliantly. Telecom, for example, I don't know if you remember, a few months down the line, there were instances where they were saying that Vodafone might leave and someone else might leave, and there was so much chaos that was going on. But look at the situation right now. Same goes for your OTT platforms as well. And also these apps like, say, a Zoom or a WebEx or a Teams, or like right now what we are doing, or a house party, for example. We are all trying to evolve and adapt to how this is going on. And when I'm saying we, I am talking about consumers. And that's the challenge that brands have right now. It was already difficult to understand what's really going on in the minds of your consumers, by the way. Yeah? But now, with all this change that is going on, I believe it just became a different thing altogether. It doesn't matter where you were in terms of understanding your audience, because hey, you need to take a step back now and understand them better. And here are a few examples, by the way. Consumption. We all know how online consumption has been increasing. So that's one thing. Entertainment. How are we really, getting entertained, or are we using those platforms to get entertained? When it comes to relationships, people are spending more time at home. How do they feel like they are kind of disassociated with other people because they have to interact on screen, etc. Health and fitness. There are multiple examples that I believe you have. One of them you can see right now, which is Cult Fit, which has been mentioned here, and how they have changed their approach, and how it's all about work is now your office, work is now your gym, work is now your restaurant. It's everything. Work is basically where you live. It's not just work from home now. And same goes for work when it comes to education, and when it comes to how we, absorb or consume news as well. So many things that we talked about, right? But Nielsen has made it kind of easy for us. So what they did recently was they came up with this 6 key consumer behavior thresholds that we kind of need to keep in mind. And I think you can see that on the screen, and I believe any which we're going to be sharing these data points with you any which way. But what's important to see here is, if you see the first one, proactive health-minded buying, I don't need to explain that to you. You know what I'm talking about. Restricted living. We have to be at one place. No travel, no trips, everything gets cancelled. How are we really adapting to that? The new normal, that the word that we keep on talking about. What is that new normal, and how it's really changing us? And that's what we're going to be talking about, by the way, first of all. Are we ready for the new normal? Because like we mentioned earlier, how we work, how we learn, how we socialize, shop, connect, contribute to the economy, and everything else that you can think of is changed. So keeping in mind how consumer behavior is changing and our behavior is changing, let's look at some of the examples of how some of the brands have really adapted. These are some really evolved brands that kind of were the first to think of something that they wanted to do from a communications perspective, from a marketing perspective, advertising perspective, etc. Let's look at some examples. Nike. I think we all know Nike as a brand, right? They all talk about going out, do what you would want to do, play for the billions, play for the millions. That's what they want to focus on. But this is what they are trying to talk about. What is that they're trying to link it with? They're trying to link it with the fact that you need to stay at home. As simple as that, right? Stay at home is in one line, that one message that they're focusing on. By the way, before we proceed, there's something interesting that I kind of follow, which is your 1-10-100 model. It's an exercise for a different session altogether when we talk about campaign planning as a whole. But 1-10-100 model basically talks about that one message that the brand has and how it uses the right kind of touch points to share that message to the 100, which basically is your target audience. That's basically your 1-10-100 model, yeah? So just keep that in mind when you're looking at all these examples. I think it kind of will resonate better. So that one message that they are trying to convey is that, hey, we would want you to stay home because that's how you can contribute during these times. And that's how they communicated about it. Here's another example of Coca-Cola. New York Square advertisement are something which are really famous, by the way. This is how they went about it. There are two things to notice, by the way. Yeah? First, the logo. Can you see that there's some spacing between the letters that you see between Coca-Cola? What are they representing? They are representing social distancing. And if you see the copy that is written below that, staying apart is the best way to stay united. I think that's a message that all of us could really resonate with right now, right? Because right now, if we stay apart from each other, all of us are going to be safe. And then accordingly, once things are better, we will have our opportunities to interact and engage with all the people that we love around, our families and friends and whatnot. So two messages in one simple advertising that you can actually see here. I'm going to be playing a video now, yeah? So the audio is right there. I would want you to please keep in mind that 1-10-100 model that I talked about when you're looking at that video. The video is from Skyscanner. It's a company that is into travel and basically travel advisory and all these different things that it basically takes care of. That's the background. Now just look at the video and then maybe we'll talk about it a little more. We will get through this and we will be together again. We are there for you. We will. That's the message that they're focusing on. It doesn't matter right now, right? I mean, they know the business is down. We talked about it, right? The industries, travel industry has gone down drastically. We manage Make My Trip, we manage Indigo. We can actually, I can resonate with that, the kind of changes that have happened. But with all that is going on, what they're really focusing on right now is it's going to get better. It's going to get better. We need to be together. We are together. That's what they're focusing on. And if you see from a mechanics perspective, by the way, okay, it's very much how do you execute this, right? You can't shoot outside. Obviously, you can't do that. So what you really need is two things. You need good copy, apart from obviously a good concept, and you need stock images or videos. That's about it. That's what they've played with. Just three aspects. They had a very clear one message that they wanted to talk about. They focused on these three aspects, which is a good concept that they had, which is your reveal, the whole thing that they've written, a good copy that they've written, and nice visuals to go by, which will resonate with the audience base, because I think we all are kind of craving to go out and travel again and look at all these beaches and hill stations and look down from the airplane and all these different things that we would want to explore and experience again. That's what they're focused on here. When you talk about India specific example, I think we all know about it. And I've taken this example for a very specific reason, because there is a business model that Abhyad already has. But what they're really focusing on here is how they partnered with someone to make sure that they're offering free courses or online courses during these times, or specifically for students, for NGOs, and for those who are actually in need of that. Because the one message that they're focusing on here is, hey, learning should never stop. Learning should never stop irrespective of whatever goes on. And that's how they're basically going on. Here's another example by the government, by the way. So imagine a government, we all think about Sarkari government, it's going to be slow and whatnot, but how fast they were able to come up with an app that kind of will address certain issues that you have at this point of time, or kind of will be there to kind of, to get more information if you need, a credible source that is, and also the way they marketed it to make sure that there were millions of hits in mere few days that they basically got. And that's, I think, kind of phenomenal when you think about it. It's not just this, by the way. If you know about it, there is a Twitter handle that is just there. If you have a question around COVID or Corona or anything, you can just ask them and they're going to be replying to you real time. So the approach that we propose, because again, hey, we saw a lot of examples, right? We have to simplify, obviously, right? Because I think as marketeers or as brand custodians, one of the things that will usually come to your mind is that, hey, we need to be seen. We need to be heard as a brand. So what we're going to be doing is we will just do whatever that needs to be done to just be in conversations. But what we sometimes forget is the simple fact that there is a lot of noise out there. There are thousands of brands that are trying to cater to the audience base that is there. And if we have to cut through that clutter, it has to be something interesting that we have for them. And that's why, to simplify it, what we are proposing is these 4 steps, by the way. These 4 simple things that we need to focus on. First, health. Are there CSR initiatives? Are there anything that we are doing where we are actually contributing to the cause at the moment? If we have, yes, let's talk about it. Second thing, inform. We have created all this community with thousands and millions of followers that we have. Are we using that channel or that platform to really inform our audience base of the things that they should be keeping in mind to make sure that they are safe? Because us as brands, it's not just right now, it's not about just selling. It's about making sure that our consumers are safe and they're secure. So how are we using our platforms to make sure of that? The third aspect is entertain. When I talk about that, cutting the noise and cutting through that clutter and all these different things, right? It can't just be informative, right? We all as consumers would want to consume information which is also entertaining from that perspective. It could be videos. It could be maybe say a nice video, like an animation or a GIF or a nice infographic. It could be anything like that, but it has to be something that is easy to consume. And that's the third point I want to talk about. And the fourth one is more of an amalgamation of all these things that we just talked about, which is connect. Because we talked about it. We are all kind of craving for that connect right now, right?
Abhishek, sorry to interrupt. There's one guy is raising a hand. Lalit, he wants to ask you something.
Absolutely, no problem, yeah.
Yeah, Lalit. Are you there?
I think that was probably by mistake because I can't see him.
It's okay. I mean, if you still have any question, anyone else, right? I mean,
mistake. That's fine. Okay. All right. Sorry.
No problem. So, guys, still again, both that we can stop. If you have a question, feel free to ask. Yeah, because it has to be conversation. Yeah. If you have anything right till now, also we'll wait for another 10 seconds. That's absolutely fine. Anyone else has a question? I am happy to go back to that slide. By the way, absolutely okay with that. We'll wait for another 10 seconds or so. If you have a question, let us know, please.
Hello, so can you explain this 1, 10, and 100 rule, the model you mentioned earlier?
Absolutely. This is Mansi, right?
Thank you. Yes, thank you, sir.
Mansi, right?
Right, sir.
Mansi, hi. Yes, sure, absolutely, I will do that. So, okay, so there is, let's imagine 3 circles here, okay, on the screen. 1, 10, and 100, yeah? It's like a snowball effect, okay? So it keeps on increasing, yeah? Like a snowball effect, it kind of rolls down the mountain and it keeps on getting bigger. That's what we're talking about, yeah? So the circles also keep on increasing, okay? I'm just trying to visualize, I'm trying to make you visualize it, okay? So bear with me. 1 is the message, that brand message, what it stands for. Now it could be your objective of that particular campaign that you have, or objective, or that thought that you have for a particular video piece that you would want to focus on, or it could be your mission statement that you have of your brand. It could be any of these things. That's your 1. Okay?
Right, sir.
After that, once that is kind of sorted out, we look at the right kind of touch points to make sure that we are able to reach out to our audience base. Now, those touch points could be, say, for example, I would want to have an advertisement. I would want to use it on my social media platforms. I would want to maybe incorporate my influencers as a part of the campaign. Or maybe say I would want to create a microsite, for example, which I'm just going to show after this slide. Once we have sorted those touch points, keeping in mind that message that we wanted to convey, we reach out to the 100 or the hundreds, if I may say. And that's it audience.
Okay. All right. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No problem, Mansi. Thanks. Anyone else? Any other question? If not, we move ahead. आपकी खामोशी को मैं समझूंगा कि आपको सब समझ में आ गया. So I'm going to move on. Okay. So I was on Connect. I'm just quickly talk about that because it's more about amalgamation of these 3 aspects that we just talked about here. Connection is very important right now. Right now, also, I think we all kind of trying to connect. I am honestly trying to connect with you guys right now while you're not on screen, and hopefully once this is over, hopefully everyone is going to switch on their cameras and we can see all your lovely faces also. I would really appreciate that. I think we're all doing that, and that's something that our audience also is expecting from the brands also. So how are we really able to do that? It's something which is really important. I'm not going to end it like this, right? It can't just be theoretical, because that's not BRAT stands for. We would want to give you practical examples of what brands are doing, and that too examples which are relevant. So let me talk about each of these things with examples now. So help. Here is an example of McDonald's is doing right now. McDonald's, we all know what they do from a business perspective. Let's not get into that. You like them, you don't like them. That's not the part of the discussion at the moment. Also, I am craving for that right now. I haven't eaten any junk food, by the way, for the past 3-4 months. Generally, I'm craving to have something. It could be anything now. But anyway, coming back to this, what they've done here is they basically are using their employees. And that's an approach, by the way, a lot of brands are doing at the moment. How are they utilizing their own set of employees to become voices during these times, or those heroes, so to say, during these times? We are talking about frontline workers, we are talking about COVID warriors, we're talking about Corona warriors, and all these different words that we have kind of been using. What McDonald's has been doing is that they are kind of trying to help the communities around them with whatever that they require. That's what they basically are doing. And to really talk about it, what they've done is, if that's the message that they have, by the way, now I'm just trying to link it with 1, 10, 100. One of the touch points for them is creating a microsite. Because while obviously they can put it on social and all these different channels, right? It's going to be scattered, right? It's going to be all scattered. So just to make sure that there is this one source wherein if someone comes, they can actually see that Mc family stuff that they're talking about. That's how they're basically going about it. On that microsite, you will see a lot of different examples and stories and videos and testimonials of the kind of work, etc., that they've been doing, which is phenomenal. And that's how they are talking about how they are helping the community. I'm going to be talking about the second example now with a video. So here you go.
Video KYC, ma'am.
Can you see me and hear me clearly, sir?
Absolutely, loud and clear. वैसे आपका मास्क काफी cool लग रहा है.
Thank you, sir. Can you please confirm the city in your Aadhaar card address?
Amchi, Mumbai.
And your PIN code?
400025.
Birth date?
6 July 1985. उम्र 34 साल. Right.
May I take a photograph?
Pose करने के लिए तो मैं ever ready.
Thank you, sir.
Oh.
Perfect. Please can you hold your PAN card?
Okay.
Just give me a minute to verify.
Yeah, sure. Take your time. आजकल तो time ही time. अरे time.
Could you sign the black paper and hold it up?
बड़े दिन हो गए ऑटोग्राफ दिए.
Video KYC call done.
Done.
Welcome to Kota Gate 11.
अरे तो एक बार बोल दीजिए ना मैम. बहुत दिन हो गए सुना नहीं.
What, sir?
Backup. Kota Gate 11. India's first zero contact video KYC savings account.
I think you can make the message that they're conveying, right? The first KYC account, which you can actually get it done like this online, virtually. So they're trying to link it with, they basically kind of transform or evolve their business model that they have to make sure that they still remain there, and this kind of don't become obsolete, because hey, people are not going to be going out to maybe get an account created, but what they can do now is sitting at home, being safe, they can just do it just like that, and that's how they're informing about the new service that they have.
It's a no contact thing which is they started. That is what is the showcase is all about.
Absolutely. And again, I think you will be able to link it with that 110, 100 model also that I talked about. Interestingly, this is something that a lot of brands are doing. And if I may, I'm just going to take another 30 seconds to talk about something. And this is more of a trend that we have seen emerging. And I believe all of us have, all the 50 odd people who are there right now, which is that a lot of brands started doing these remote shootings. Because you can't go out, you can't go to someone's house, at least now, hopefully you still can, but look at Maharashtra or Mumbai, right? It's pretty bad. You wouldn't want to maybe take the whole camera crew to someone's place and try to shoot something, and maybe it will result into something really horrible, maybe spreading corona or something like that. But what a lot of brands started doing is shooting these videos remotely, which basically means that they would have asked maybe say Ranveer Singh to shoot their part of the thing and share it with them. The same thing would have been done by the lady who was there, and then they kind of merged it together from an editing perspective. And that is something that a lot of brands are doing. And I think it's something that we need to remember, because it's not just about looking at an example and saying that, oh, wow, what a cool example, yeah. And we'll remember that and we'll say about it. But also it's about how can we do something like this as marketeers? Can we also think of ways wherein we are saving a lot of logistics money, by the way? Amazing amount of money we're going to be saving, by the way, to do something wherein your communication doesn't stop. Talking about communication doesn't stop, I'm going to play the next example now, which was entertain. Okay. After I show the example, we'll talk about it a little more. Do you have any question? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to change. Next slide.
Bingo Comedy Adda.
Hey guys, my name is Gaurav Kapoor and I'm your favorite travel blogger. And this time we are going to go and have a look at one of the favorite destinations of Indians and foreigners in India, and that is our very own Goa. इधर मैं जाऊंगा गोवा में बहुत सारी मजे मारूंगा, और मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ गोवा में अगर आप कभी भी जाओ ना, आपको अपने साथ में एक तरीके का बैग लेके जरूर घूमना चाहिए, क्योंकि सिर्फ और एक कूल लगते हो आप। So I'm going to have a lot of fun on feeling Goa, so I need to think for it. So I'm going to go and go on my ticket. Let's go and enjoy Goa. So what's what is like? Guys, welcome to my podcast. about गोवा के बारे में हम जा रहे हैं गोवा के अंदर पार्टी करने के लिए, standing right outside a club in Baga Beach, and I'm going to go inside and enjoy. Baga Beach इसलिए क्योंकि मेरे को बहुत mainstream जगह है, बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद है. Let's go and we'll vlog about our party. Go so.
I think you got a gist of it, right? You got a gist of what they are basically doing. There's another program again, and that's something that is basically influencer outreach. They are working with influencers to create content during these times. This is by Bingo. You've heard about the brand Bingo, Bingo chips, yeah? They have this property that they basically have created for some time, which was called Comedy Adda, wherein they were doing comedy, stand-up comedy shows in different cities. Now, obviously, that can't happen. So this is how they are basically creating conversation at this point of time. All this is shot by, conceptualized by the influencers. I can tell you that because, hey, we also do the same thing with influencers, yeah? And talking about influencers, because I believe that's a very hot topic. All of us keep on discussing about it. Again, that's a topic for a different session altogether. But one thing that we need to keep in mind when we talk about influencer outreach as a whole is people usually run for these influencers who have a million followers or thousands of followers. That's the kind of people that we should be collaborating with. That's wrong, by the way. I'll tell you why. Because it's not about what the influencer can do for you. It's also about what your brand's content will also do for that influencer's followers that they have. It's pretty simple, by the way. Yeah? It doesn't matter if you have 1 million followers, if what you would want to talk about, that influencer doesn't have that kind of following, it's a waste. You're basically wasting your time, your money, that influencer's time and money, the time and actually they're still earning. And also it kind of really reduces the equity of the brand because, hey, we're just doing it just for the sake of it now. Giving you an example. We were the ones who were managing, we managed Hotstar. So I don't know if you know about this kind of popular series, which was Game of Thrones. Kind of popular, yeah. I'm not sure if you've heard about it. Kind of popular. So season 8 came. Again, we're not talking about how bad the season was. That's again, we can have a different discussion after that. But we were creating the right kind of conversations around it. And one of the asks was that, hey, can we collaborate with influencers to make sure that they create content for us and also plug in Hotstar wherever possible? That's basically what was the brief from the client side. I'm actually making it better. Making it sound better. But that was basically the brief. And how we went about it was that the first impression that comes to your mind is, hey, can we not just work with Scoop maybe, yeah? Can we not work with, someone who has, say, 1 million followers and they will post about it and we are done? But then there are tools that we have that we keep a track of where we kind of understand the audience that follower, that influencer has, and really break them into what are the categories of followers that they have. Now, keeping that in mind, what we realized was that that's not the right audience. So while we still will be able to show the client that we reached out to 1 million people and we got, say, of 10,000 likes or whatever, it will not do anything for the brand or for the show because that's not the audience that they have. Instead, with the kind of tools and with manual search, we found this one person who lives somewhere in Pune, and that person has a channel which is just on Game of Thrones. So while that person just has a 20,000 followers or community size, he just talks about Game of Thrones, which means that the audience that that person has is hardcore Game of Thrones out to that person to reach out to that 20,000 fans or community of hardcore people who will actually talk about your brand also, rather than talking about someone who will just like it just for the sake of it and you're done. So again, that's this influencer outreach as a discussion, and it's not as simple as it looks like. So I'm gonna say what I said earlier. It's not about what an influencer can do for you or your brand. It's about what your brand's content will do for your influencers' followers as well. Do you have any questions on influencer outreach as a whole? We are showing an example of entertain, but if you have any questions, happy to answer. Please.
Can you give me a bad example of influencers?
There are quite a few actually. I think this was one of the launches that recently happened, and a brand, I wouldn't name that brand, but they reached out to multiple celebrities, created the tweets for them, and shared it with them, and all of them basically tweeted the same thing. I don't know if you've seen that example. It has happened, by the way, multiple times. There is another bad example. there is for a phone brand, a celebrity tweeted that this is the best phone ever while tweeting from an iPhone. And it showed below that tweeted from on iPhone or tweeted from iPhone.
Google Pixel.
Again, I'm not going to say the brand names, but I think we kind of can make out these examples. The first one is bad because you just wanted to reach out to celebrities. You had the money. You just pumped in that money. You created those sample tweets for them, which we do, by the way, but more for a reference. And all of them just copy pasted the same thing and just posted it. That's one example that I talked about. The other one was you are working with someone who is not your loyalist, and you are also not really getting into those details. You just want that reach. You're hungry for that reach. You're not really focusing on those things. And imagine the backlash that can happen because of these kind of things. Suresh, I hope it kind of, I hope these examples kind of help. These are pretty bad from my perspective, I feel.
And I saw there's one, image used by both the brands, and it was biggest blunder, I suppose. So instead of influencers also blindly tweeting and posting on the Instagrams, so that can create a bad image for the brand also. That is
absolutely. I completely agree, and that's why. I mean, while this is one example, what we just saw Bingo, one of the things I would want to talk about, and we'll move on because again, influencer outreach, like I said again, that's a completely different discussion altogether. But you must have seen all this phenomena which was there, which was about trending. Yeah.
But is it also a plan that putting a wrong images, wrong tweets can also trend? That can also be possible.
But do you really see? We all talk about this fact that any publicity is good publicity, right? But in the times that we're living in, I think the consumers are really smart now. They wouldn't want to be associated with a brand that actually gets this kind of publicity, or is at least considered to be an idiot. Sorry to use this word, but to be considered as an idiot when it comes to communication. So again, I think that's an age-old thing to talk about, but I'm not sure if it's kind of relevant in the world that we are living in, with the kind of 50-odd people that are there on this, as a part of the session. We're all smart individuals. We would want to be associated with a brand because that's what will define us also, by the way. So if I'm carrying a OnePlus, or if I'm carrying maybe say an Apple, that kind of defines who I am as an individual. That's how we usually work. So we wouldn't want to be associated with someone like that, is what I feel. There have been smart instances though, by the way. By Suresh, to your point, there have been examples wherein brands have intentionally tweaked a word somewhere. Or maybe just tweak something in that word that they've had, change a sentence or a letter. But that's smart, and you know that that's smart because when you look at it, you know it's an intelligent thing that they've done. This isn't. The examples that we talk about, they're not. Anyone else, guys? Any question that you have on influencer outreach, we will be happy to answer. Otherwise, we will move on to the next part. Okay, like I said again, आपकी खामोशी को मैं समझूंगा कि आपको सब समझ में आ गया है. So moving on, connect, and this again is also a very recent example, by the way. This is what Swiggy did. I don't know if you are familiar with the concept of potluck. It basically is that you can call it any different name, but it basically is that I'm going to make something, Suresh is going to make something, Rupi is going to make something, and then we will all come together and we will basically have a feast. Yeah. So I make, say, for example, I come with noodles, she comes with burgers, someone and something. We'll have like a party of sorts. You can't do that right now, but what they have done here is in a very visual format. They're basically saying that, hey, we are going to make sure that on one of these Sundays, you can have a virtual potluck. So make whatever you want to. Our people will make sure that they give it to, they basically reach out to your friends and families, etc. Everyone will get the food that other people have made, and then you can get in front of the screen and you can actually enjoy them. And this is how they visually represented it. I hope you can see the screen. So if you see the second one, which says here's how it works, they've kind of given you instruction in terms of how to really go about it. And I personally love the way they have not just created it, but the kind of colors that they've used. Yeah? The colors that will kind of are appealing to your eyes. You will see kind of warm colors that give you that warm, cozy feeling, etc. That's how they've played with it. And that's a great way for a brand that you might not be thinking about right now, because you wouldn't want to maybe say buy something from the outside, but you still are going to be connected with them because of this. So we felt that that's a very good example to actually think about. Before we get into what's it like to preparing for the next, do you have any question on the 4 aspects that we talked about? Or anyone who'd want to unmute themselves and just say those 4 things that we talked about? One of them was health. Which were the other 3?
Just go back to the slide and show.
The 4 aspects?
Yeah.
I would want someone to first of all to see if, I just want to see if they remember that first of all.
Yeah.
Can someone maybe just say those 4 words that we used there?
So I can say.
So,
Yes.
Sonali is there.
There were multiple
Yes.
people there. Please feel free, whoever wants to.
Please, you can keep
so
a camera up.
first
Yeah.
is,
Sonali.
so my camera is not working.
अच्छा ठीक है चलो go
That
ahead.
that is an excuse that doesn't work.
So it is not working.
No problem.
So this first one was help, second one was inform, third was entertain, and fourth was connect.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Now I'm going to go on the screen. I'm glad that people are listening. Thank God for that. This is what we were talking about. I will have that on the screen for another 5 seconds if it's okay. If you have a question, happy to answer that. Okay.
Sure.
Yes.
So the similar thing is done by brands like the wedding platforms, like online dates, so that people can meet and talk. The connect part, and the similar things are done by like brands like Wildcraft. So they have gone into, like, Wildcraft was a proper travel clothing brand, kind of like you get all kinds of things from rucksack bags to sport, like to shoes for mountaineering, and now it has shifted to like making masks and advertising in a way that you would feel comfortable to actually go for it. So, which is an example like of connect.
It's a good example, and I completely agree with it. Amartya, thank you so much. Guys, anyone else who has who want to talk about any other example from these 4 aspects that you see here? Because I think there are wonderful examples out there, and I'm sure you all have witnessed them. Any other example that you would want to talk about for any of these 4 things that you see here?
I think Bratz is the ideal fit here. We are doing all the 4 things.
That's how you seed your product again.
Brand,
Awesome.
yes.
I agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. Amartya, do you have something
Yeah,
else? Please.
I have one more example. Like, there are comedy shows by comedians, right, which are not happening right now. So there was a live show by, I suppose, a webinar or something by Vipul Goyal on his YouTube channel, which was a way, like, maybe he's tried out, but yeah, that was a way that helped us see like we have to move to something else. Basically, since we are not seeing any of these like comedy shows right now, right? From any comedian, so they are making more and more videos at their home, trying to make out that stuff and continue their work.
Agreed. Actually, that's a fair point. In fact, Amartya, if I may say, that's actually something which has happened for a lot of travel influencers as well. If you see, because they're not really able to go out. So what they're doing is they can't just be inactive on their profiles. So they're kind of playing with the content that they already had. They're using because they're kind of very active on Instagram. They're using stories a lot, which, by the way, has increased phenomenally.
Yeah.
So one of the trends that have emerged is that people are there are lesser posts and more stories, because people are not usually dressed to have these pictures clicked and have it there. So kind of they're playing with those stories, etc., because they kind of go like in 24 hours. So they're playing at that with more. They're playing with text and they're playing with emojis or polls or quizzes, etc., that they're doing. That's another thing that has happened. Same goes for any influencer out there that you talk about, because a lot of things are kind of stopped. So completely agree with you. That's a good point. Anyone else? If not, we will move on.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Sir, I want to tell about one brand which was very criticized in these volatile times. That was Kent's roti maker. I don't know if you remember or not.
Yes. First of all, sorry, but what's your name?
Yeah, hi, my name is Sai.
Sai. Okay. Yes. Please
Yeah.
continue. Yes.
Yeah, so it was criticized because they had a tagline that don't let your maid's germs to be on the rotis. So use this roti maker like that. They were informing about the product, but it got seriously criticized by everyone across India. So
Why do you think it was?
So because of poor means poor information which they were providing about the product. Their objective was to sell the project, increase the sales of the product, but it was failed miserably because of that sentence that they made.
They were less sensitive about the things that needs to be, especially in these times, I suppose.
Absolutely, completely agree, sir. This was.
This was Abhishek, actually.
Abhishek, hi. No, I completely agree. I think it's not about let's skip the copy and all these things, right? And again, they were focusing on driving consideration is what they were focusing on. But when you think about it, it's also about being sensitive. So again, if you have to inform, if you have to entertain, and if you have to connect, if you have to help, you still need to be sensitive right now. You can't just say whatever that comes to your mind. And that has not just happened right now. It has been going on for decades. There are quite a few examples that I usually talk about when I talk about storytelling exercises, wherein there are examples by camera brands which we want to talk about. I don't know if you've seen that, if you follow Mad Over Marketing or Marketing Minds or the famous campaigns or these kind of platforms. There are multiple examples that they've been talking about and how they kind of went in a very wrong direction. So while maybe the message that they would want to convey is fine, but the way you communicate the message is more important right now. And not just right now, like irrespective. I think that's really important, right? So when we talk about that 1-10-100 model that we were talking about, and I believe Mansi had asked that as well when we explained it, we need to be sure about that message that is there. But also, I think one thing which I didn't talk about, but which is really important is with the point that you brought in and with what Abhishek said, is the fact that we need to understand the audience that we have, the culture that is there. We need to understand if your thing is going to be negative or not. Have we done that exercise? Is it just that one person thought about it and then it just was made public? Or were there people who actually sat and really thought about it? Will it work? Will it not work? What are the pros and cons? All these different things, that all those things need to be done. Because it's not just about the ideas, but how do you really package those ideas is more important, I feel, as a marketer, as a communicator. So brilliant example. Thank you for bringing that up.
Hi, my name is also Abhishek.
Oh, hi.
Abhishek, yeah. I have a question that, every company work for ultimately sales and revenue generation. Okay. So I can see that inform, entertain and connect, they ultimately work for that goal. Okay. Can you give me an example or say, how help can, contribute to the revenue or sales in this kind of situations?
See, it will do it in a very indirect way, I feel. Taking example of McDonald's only, I'm just going to have that here, okay? McDonald's, right, let's say no one is going to be thinking about McDonald's at this point in time. Let's just assume that. Or at least lesser people are going to be thinking about McDonald's at this point in time, which means that the kind of consideration or recall that brand has kind of reduced from what it used to be. Do we agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
If you're not going to be buying it, there will be a chunk of people, there will be a smaller percentage of people who might still go for the burger there. That's fine. You're loyalists and all, right? But I'm talking about from a larger community perspective. Because they are still in news, because they are trying to involve and engage with that audience or the community that is out there, what they're really making sure is
They are
if
remembered.
if I hope you've already got the point, right? McDonald's as an McDonald's employees are not just there to sell burgers to you or fries to you. They are a part of your community and they're there to support you. They're there basically as family for you. So Abhishek, now if you will see that there is a McDonald's employee kind of helps you in something, that will always be there in your mind and your heart, and that will result in the long run for you to maybe go back to them and maybe buy something from there, or at least talk about it, and someone else will.
So basically, in marketing, what we do is we somehow contribute to something. Either it is revenue or to the brand value of the brand. So the help part is actually building up your brand value or increasing the brand value, right? Which will probably convert to monetary things later on.
In most of the cases, absolutely yes. Because again, I think right now,
right.
I hope it kind of addresses your point, because
Yes,
again,
yes.
it's all about remaining in the minds of your consumers at this point in time. I think that's the most important thing. And today
Right.
we are talking about McDonald's, and you've asked this another question. I'm assuming this 50 odd people will remember it.
Yes.
And that is the recall that you require when you crave for something that you might go for McDonald's, is also something that they would want to have apart from everything that else that they will do. They're still, by the way, talking about zero contact, service that they have. They're still talking about how hygienic they are, by the way. Yeah? So that's the communication they already are doing. If they don't do that, you will still not buy it. It has to be 360 degrees and from a communications perspective. But this helps because this connects here, and that's important.
Right. Right. True.
I hope
Thank
it
you.
kind of addresses your, it answers your question.
Yes, yes,
Abhishek.
yes,
Thank
definitely.
you. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yatin, you have a question? So
Sorry,
what?
anyone else?
Yeah, what I see now, brands, whatever the initiatives they have been taking, it is more of creating a lot of values, within their public, and the feeling which is ensuring that we are with you in this kind of scenario. That actually creates a lot of brand value also, because a lot of ethics are coming, values are also coming, and it is not actually showing a kind of push sales kind of a perspective, but they are supposedly, if you see Swiggy, there was some kind of a case happened, they actually rectified with some kind of informing, and there is one more BKC restaurant also, there was a positive case. They themselves came out and said there was a positive case, we are shutting down for temporarily. So certain examples, it didn't give any kind of bad image, but the reality, whatever they're coming out, likewise McDonald's also, all these, whatever the message which is coming up, which is more of creating their own brand values, because they cannot sell it now. That will remain, which will be registered for longer time in the period of this lockdown, and it will definitely help when they're actually, come back in the industry, in the market. So that's what is happening now. That's what my take is on.
Agreed. Absolutely, Suresh. I completely agree. And I think it's a good time for us to kind of segue into the next part, which is what's it like preparing for the next. And from survival mindset, there has to be a shift to growth mindset, because we can talk about everything else, but at the end of the day, brands work when there is sales. So there has to be communication around that, and the time has already started, by the way, when we're talking about it. Brands have kind of changed their approach, and they have started talking about here's something else that you can buy. But that's a mindset change or shift that's supposed to happen. Another important thing is going to be to not just look at it from a very 10,000 feet here, when you're looking at consumer attitude or behavior changes. It's also about kind of segmenting it into what are the temporary changes that are there and what are the changes that are going to be kind of permanent. Because you can't just look at it everything as black and white. we'll have to look at it from that perspective. And again, to remember that Nielsen investigation that I talked about with those 6 trends of consumer behavior thresholds that were there. The last one is, how are we really evolving or transforming our businesses? We all are, because we talked about it. It's not just a temporary disruption, it's a paradigm shift. How we work, how we live, how we shop, how we contribute to the economy, everything has changed. So that same way, brands also need to kind of evolve and become something more than what they were earlier. And that's exactly what it really talks about. So conclusion, just to simplify it, yeah, because I personally feel that if you really simplify things, you kind of remember that. So apart from that 110, 100 that I talked about, this is something as communicators or marketeers that we need to keep in mind. ABC of communications, yeah. A, analyzing the brand messaging. You'll have to analyze it again. I will give you an example how it needs to happen. Be attentive, which basically is listening to the conversation. And it kind of resonates with what we just talked about, which is consumer behavior trends, which are temporary, which are not, everything else. And the last one is consumer needs first, because your communication that you had planned in 2020 as a strategy needs to take a step back now. If you haven't already, it needs to. What we need to focus on is, what are your consumers focusing on, and how are you then communicating what you're communicating? The first step is, this is what we call usually a message house from a public relations perspective, but it talks about that message, that one that we have to talk about, which is that what's that brand vision or mission statement that is there, and then you create the pillars of communication that you would want to keep in mind when you have to talk about that one particular message. And that's how you actually analyze your brand message and maybe change it if it needs to be changed. Kotak did that, right? Kotak is a good example of that. They kind of tweaked what they would want to stand for from a business perspective, keeping in mind the times that we are living in. The second aspect is listening. And that's where all these tools and data points and all these things that we talk about come into the picture, right? There are multiple tools that are out there, from Meltwater to Cetizio to your Sprinkler. There are multiple tools that are there. How do we use them? Some of the free tools that are there, maybe say, for example, Twitter offers analytics, Instagram offers that, Facebook offers that, that's all free. We don't have to have that excuse that, hey, I don't have an expensive tool. All these are free. How are we using them to make sure that we are really able to listen? And there's a difference between hearing and listening, right? I think we all agree with that. Listening to what our audience or our consumers are talking about, and then accordingly communicating that to them. And talk about communicating what we communicate to them is these two examples that I want to talk about, which is from consumer needs perspective. We talked about what Swiggy is doing. We talked about what McDonald's is doing, but this is something which is the most basic thing that they have to do if they need to remain in business, which is that they're talking about contactless delivery. They're talking about regular checks. Everyone from Zomato to Big Basket to all these players, they're talking about that. And that's what you can see how they kind of growing during these times. And the second aspect is, how are we really collaborating with other brands if there's a requirement? And that's what Uber has done brilliantly, collaborating with, for example, Nature Basket to deliver essentials, because no one is really using cars or Uber to go from one place to another. At least they weren't doing it, maybe say a month back. They still want to remain in news. Remember that. It's more important to stay in news at this point in time, take a hit, and then once things are better, people will start using your service again, rather than just sitting idle and saying that, hey, nothing can happen now. That's not how things work. So these are the three examples again, the A, B, C of communications. And that's where I stop. That's where we end the session. So concluding before, just talking about a few things that we talked about. Obviously, we talked about all these trends and how people are talking about. We talked about that paradigm shift and how brands and consumer behavior is changing, etc. We talked about those 4 aspects that I believe all of us kind of remember now, which were health, inform, entertain, and connect. We also talked about, which isn't really a part of the session, but more important, which is your 110, 100 model. And then we talked about this A, B, C of communication. So there have to be takeaways from this hour-plus long session. These are the takeaways that I would humbly request and suggest that we need to have. And we need to now look at things, whatever that we see, keeping these examples in mind. Thank you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Sir, can we go back to the slide of like ABC slide that you showed?
Here you go.
All right.
Guys, any question?
Sir, can you mention the tools again, the tools for marketing for consumer insights?
Absolutely, I can. So I will talk about the free tools that are available first of all, because all of us might not have access to paid ones. The free ones are first whatever all the social media platforms offer as analytics, right? So Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, any of the tools that are there, all those tools offer analytics which are already available that you can access. So that's one part of it. Then there are other free tools which are third party, which are your tools like say Tweet Reach, for example, that will give you impressions or reach of a particular hashtag. So these are your free tools. And then there are paid tools that are there, which are like, and please note it down now, Sprinkler without an E. Without an E, Sprinkler, LR. That's how it is. Then there is Melt Water. Then there is Synthesio. Then there is Clear, which starts with a K, K-L-E-A-R. So these are some of the tools that are there. That there are multiple brands, global brands have been using to track and to be part of conversations. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
I hope none
Guys,
of them
any
are.
other question?
I hope none of them are not banned, no?
Sorry, Suresh. What?
So they all are active, right? None of them are banned, right? Because there are a lot of.
No. None of them are. No. All of them, I believe most of them are anyway US based. So
okay.
They are not.
Okay. Amit has a question. He's been busy. Yeah, Amit.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Absolutely. Yes, please. Amit.
Yeah. So I just wanted to highlight an incident from my life itself when it comes to having a brand value, word of mouth communication kind of a thing. So recently during the lockdown, my brother-in-law was here in Uttarakhand. Here the travel is very difficult, and he's in the army and he had to travel back to his posting location because there was no leverage for them. So he did not have a car and he wanted to desperately have a car so that he could travel during this time. So he started desperately contacting all the stores that were nearby. So all the stores in this location were closed. Then he reached out to the stores in Dehradun. Those stores also said they cannot deliver it to Pithoragarh because it's too far for them. And then he, in desperation, he reached out to a store in Delhi, thinking there's no problem in giving it a try, right? He reached out to them and that person agreed. And then he sent 3 people in 2 different cars so that they could go back also. And they completed a journey of around 700 kilometers. They had to stay during the journey in between because when they entered the state, they stopped them there because they did not have any particular permission, and there was no communication from the government as well how you could travel for such a duty. So they had to stay back overnight and then travel back in the morning once the approval was given by the DM of the particular state, and they came here and they delivered it. So that created a very good impression about the particular brand as well as the store. And I think going forward, if someone is in desperate need, I would truly recommend that particular brand and a store for them to go.
That's a wonderful example. I think it kind of resonates with what you were saying also. That I think how we behave right now and how we really interact with people is going to really redefine the relationships that we're going to be having. So
Yes.
how we kind of engage, how we kind of help each other is something that people are going to be remembering for a long time. And it's not just relevant for brands, it's relevant for us as humans as well.
Yes, correct.
And I believe that's something that I think all of us need to keep in mind. These are difficult times for all of us. But then again, these shall pass. And once they do, things are going to get normal. And these relationships that you actually build, or the kind of trust or the kind of connection that you build are going to stay, which I believe is really important at the end of the day. Thank you, Amit, for sharing
yeah,
that.
yeah, and just last word. The more impressive thing was, it was the first time they did it, so they took that risk to deliver. That they came here and they were like they haven't done this before ever, even before the lockdown, and that was even more impressive that they were willing to take a risk for their customers. So that really stuck around for me. Thank you very
Wonderful
much.
example. Thank you, Amit. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it.
I think Mansi, you have some question, right?
Sorry, sir, it was my mistake. Sorry.
All right.
Can I go ahead if possible?
Yeah, please. Who's it?
Hi, this is Abhishek, Kumar Abhishek. Actually, I did post something a minute before. So, hi Abhishek. I would like to put particular thing like build upon something that Sai asked few minutes ago, like the situation of branding in especially in contemporary scenario of whatever happening around the world. Like the right now the burning issue is that particular that all blacks are equal as well. That is happening, and I believe it has taken I will not say tall, but it has made one specific strategy change in one of a leading fairness scheme, as you would have again it has came. So again, when I'm saying this particular thing, that something that is happening worldwide or even in India per se, that it is having an impact on how a brand should go ahead with his, what should I say, marketing, advertisement, or per se building its own what should I say, sentiments among the public, right? So that particular fairness cream used that particular slogan or whatever through advertisement, through other things for time you may have post for as well. This particular thing, what I want to ask, and I would like to have your comment on that, that if something that is happening in and around ourselves, and it is making something of it posing a difficulty for my business per se, how to actually tackle. Yes, I understand that it's important to build positivities around your brand in these times, especially if something is going against you, that's not in your hand. So how to approach that particular thing from a brand perspective or from a business perspective per se? What would be your take on it?
See, it depends which business are we talking about and the kind of challenge that we have, because there can't be one answer to it. We have talked about some basic things that we have learned from a key takeaways perspective that almost every brand can focus on. But the question that you're asking, I believe it's it's very specific to the brand that is there, right? Because say for example, if you talk about a brand that is there in the travel industry, the challenge is going to be very different compared to someone who, say, for example, into luxury business for watches, for example, right? Or someone who, say, for example, a PVR or an Inox, for example. So these are very different industries, which means that the kind of challenges that they also have are going to be very, very different during these times. The challenge that a Fair and Lovely is facing is not a challenge that maybe, say, for example, I don't know, maybe say a Ken is facing or a Xiaomi is facing. Xiaomi is facing a very different kind of a challenge, which maybe say an Apple is not facing. So their challenge all depends, I believe. So if someone just gives you an answer just like that, I think that's kind of a wrong approach to it, because I believe we need to discuss more about that particular problem, that particular brand, that particular industry that is there. How are the audience really reacting to it, and then come up with the solution. It has to be very specific to the problem that is there, rather than just a generic solution that is there. I hope it. I wouldn't want to just say just things for the sake of it. I wouldn't want to be as candid as I can. So, Abhishek, I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, I understand there is no general solution out of it. Yes,
to the brand.
Okay. There must not be a general solution out of it. It must be category specific, or it needs to be dealt with on an individual
But the
basis.
one thing that remains common is to go back and maybe figure out what that brand stands for, whatever that it is. How are the competition or peers really going about it? How is the industry really going about it right now? Industry is more than just competition, obviously, right? And then also keeping in mind consumers, the change that has happened, etc. So all these things, irrespective of brand or have to there, and they become very specific again depending on what it is. So I hope it kind of addresses your point.
Fair enough. Okay, thank you, Abhishek.
Sir, hi, this is Sai again.
Hi, Sai. Yes.
Sir, I wanted to ask what a brand can do if government bans them in their country or like that. Is there another strategy to get into again that market space?
Lobbying, a lot of lobbying. I think we will start seeing that because it can't be a very simple answer, to be very honest. There are friends that I have that work in TikTok, and there are people whom I know who are associated with a few other brands as well. It is a very different kind of, if you're talking about the current situation, it's a very different kind of situation or scenario that is there. It's not just political, but it's more than that, to be very honest. If we're not going to get into any politics here, and again, it's not about taking sides, etc., right? It's not about, this is not.
Yeah, just I want to know what will be the strategy of that brand. Yeah.
There's going to be a mix of a lot of things. You can bet on it that their set of lawyers and lobbyists, etc., are already on it. There is a lot of business impact that a lot of all these businesses have on the countries, on the people, on the economy and whatnot. So there are quite a few things that are there, and I believe it's going to be much more than that. So we will see. I think all of us will kind of see how some of the brands that we all are kind of talking about are going to be reacting. But I feel that lobbying is going to be one of the things that definitely is going to be there.
So can you please explain what is lobbying?
It's okay. Have you seen the movie called Thank You for Smoking?
No, I haven't.
Amazing
movie. Guys, everyone here, yeah. If you haven't,
yes.
Thank You for Smoking. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it should be available in one of the OTT platforms. I'm assuming it should be.
Ishan, can you just stop sharing? Can you stop your screen, please?
Can you stop? Okay, stop sharing.
Yeah.
1 second.
Then you'll come on the full. Yeah. That's
okay.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's one good movie that will actually explain what lobbying is. But lobbying basically is about advocacy. It's basically how are you kind of influencing the right kind of stakeholders, which could be, say, for example, from the government or from certain bodies, etc., that have the power to take a decision or make a regulation. So you kind of influence them to do something in your favor. That's basically what it is.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank You for Smoking. What's that movie? It's a brilliant movie to watch. Any which way, it's a brilliant movie to watch.
Amazing movie. Yes.
Yeah, Abhishek resonates with that. So good. Yes.
Hi, Abhishek here again. I just wanted to know, as you are the right person to talk about it, that you talked about all these strategies, right? How at the 11th hour, keeping aside our long-term plans of marketing, how we come up with a solution which is currently validate a company's activity or a marketing plan. So I just wanted to know that how agencies and companies, approach to it. It's like there is a team who does all this. For example, you gave us a lot of examples. The best example was that Kotak Mahindra one and McDonald's. Okay, so how it happens inside the CMO's office? I just wanted to know. You are the right person, I think, to ask this.
See, there is a business objective to it. So it's not just limited to a CMO, by the way, because the marketing team never will be taking a decision with something as big as this. They can suggest something if they have. Obviously, anyone can. But this is more from a business perspective when you think about it. It's more of a business change that they're bringing in. So again, let's try to assume how it's going to happen. The business team, or maybe say the business leader, would have said that, there is a requirement. We have done this much research. The marketing team would have done that. Anyone would have done that. This is one of the things that we have come up with, which is that our customers are going to be apprehensive to go out. There are a lot of studies already. They are going to be apprehensive to go out and maybe to shop. When it comes to shopping or when it comes to doing anything else, it means that imagine they will never be coming to create or open an account, for sure. Because that's not something that will be on their priority at least right now.
Yes.
However, keeping in mind the current situation, maybe then with that thoughts that they've had, that this is the insight that we have of the audience base, then the marketing team or the communications team would have come together and said that, you know what, let's try to package it in a way that we are able to communicate something. And with that business goal that they've had, that or business message that they've had, which was as simple as we are going to be opening our first contactless account creation program, that you can just maybe do it from an online perspective. And now a lot of thinking would have happened that how do you package that? How do you communicate about it? What is the audience thinking? What are the kind of things that they want to talk about? And Ranveer Singh said that, aajkal to time hi time hai or aaj whatever. So they're trying to link with things that people are gonna be, that will kind of connect with people. And then they packaged it in a way that there was this one very strong message with very strong insights that it had. Also, if you remember talking about how aajkal to time hi time hai was basically just before the lady said that it's done. So what they wanted to establish was that it's this fast.
It's absolutely fast, right?
Exactly.
And their message was that.
So there is one thing in saying something which they said later that ho hi gaya. And there's another thing in actually making people realize that itna jaldi ho gaya, because he was basically singing aajkal to time hi time hai because hey, it takes a lot of time. No, that's the perception that people have.
Yes,
but this happened.
It was having actually two messages. One is time hai, matlab you are going to take a lot of time, and I have that time as well because of this pandemic situation. I'm at home, so two things in one line.
But you don't need to spend more than a minute to get this created. That's how fast our service is. That's the underlying message that they also had, and that's what something beautifully needs to be packaged, if I may say, from a marketing perspective or from a communications perspective, so that it doesn't look like it's very information heavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it means it's not only the marketing team of a company which get involved, but basically the top management, the marketing team, the agency, everybody will come. Means there will be ideation. An idea will come to somebody's mind. They will propose it, and then probably they do all this homework and connect all of them together, check it, and then probably execute it, right?
Absolutely. Again, just to add to it, and again, that's a completely different session altogether, which is on campaign planning. How campaign planning really happens. So, what are the processes that usually are followed by any agency, and how do they really create campaigns? So, from brief to objective to target audience to insights to how it's designed, etc. That's a completely different package, like a completely different session that we can cover, and we can talk about campaign planning as a whole. So
right.
Abhishek, we already touched 7. So I think we should be.
There was a question. Yeah, I think the last question from Souvik he had put a while ago. So let's just take that and then probably we can conclude.
Yeah, please.
Souvik was asking regarding an automobile sector, how companies going to connect to the customer in this scenario, how they are going to sell their products basically.
See, selling is going to be later. I think right now, like we discussed for other this thing as well, and the travel example was a good one. It's about just making sure that at least you are there in the minds of the consumer. People are still talking about you. I think that's something that people need to focus on, because I don't think anyone here at least will think about buying a car, maybe say in the next few days or maybe say in a month or so. But if maybe say an MG Motors is a very good example. The head of marketing that is there is a close friend. And I think that's a very good example of how you can still remain in the minds of your audience, still remain connected with them, irrespective if it's COVID or not. And just make sure that you keep on communicating what you would want to. And once the time is right, people are going to buy. But there is that recall that is there. I believe for them right now, it should be what's more important is just to be there from a recall perspective. And then once things are better, once change happens, when we are kind of sure to buy, people are going to buy it again. But let's not miss out on that opportunity, because if we do, someone else, some other brand will benefit out of that.
I just want to add out here. So one of a brief even we are working on from the automobile segment. So the brand is different. They are targeting for all the brands, all the car users. They are going to their homes, residential buildings, and doing sanitization of the cars, before they use it, unlock one and on, unlock two and all that. So this is again a kind of a, yes, as you said, being on their minds, and how they are helping that point actually, and connect. It's not entertain and all that, but yes, help and connect is something which they are using in the process.
So very good. That's a great example. Yeah, completely agree. That's a very good way to actually go about it right now. Yeah.
Super. Okay, guys, I think we would be doing second session soon with Abhishank. That's what it looks like. And thank you, Abhishank. That's a great session.
Thank you.
A lot of lovely examples you gave. I really loved it. I personally enjoyed a lot. I suppose, I can see a lot of people also enjoyed this session. I request everyone to switch on before Abhishank have her last word. Then we'll have a picture.
Yes.
That's a screenshot, whatever we call.
Yeah, screenshot. Let's just have a picture. So guys, again, you had like an hour and a half actually now.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be an hour. It's an hour and a half to get your hair in order and everything. Yeah. So no excuses now. Let's just open the cameras and let's just have a picture click, because connection, right? We talked about it. But thank you so much. You've all have been lovely. While you guys are kind of opening, I think people have, right?
I can see only 3 rows are switched on the cameras. I don't know. Yes, Devyani and Yatin. Where is Yatin?
If you will do, this is a Mjolnir, right? Thor's hammer. It's a life-size hammer that I have, okay? So one of the person who is there right now who will open the video has a chance to win this.
Whoa!
One person. I'm being very clear about the words that I'm using, by the way. One person now who has the camera switched on has an opportunity to have this.
That's you.
Let's see if this kind of changes.
All the cameras are opening now.
Yeah, exactly.
Suddenly.
Yeah.
That was a good
Kanak.
one.
Well, where's Kanak Harish? Kanak, are you there? 1 second. Let me take the screenshot.
Abhijna.
Yes, Kaushik. The last row is also switching on slowly. Gaurav, Hemant.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Guys, come on, you can do it.
That's nice. Jagrati is up. Okay. One sec, guys. That's the first one. All right. I'm done. Done. I got it.
Got it? Okay.
Yeah.
See, again, the cameras are off.
So like I said, again, one person who has a video switched on will get it. So because I said one person who has a camera, I am going to give it to myself only. Because that's what I said. I was very, very specific about it, very particular about the words that I use. I'm not cheating you guys. Yeah? That's what I said. One person.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
But thank you so much, guys. I hope you found the session productive. And I had a good time. I think all of us had.
Same
Thank
here.
you so much for being here. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us. More importantly, feel free to connect with us as well on LinkedIn or on social platforms. Cracks, myself, Abhishank Babur. We are all there on all platforms, by the way. Yeah? We keep on talking about all the channels. If you go on YouTube, by the way, you can see all these videos as well. That's a good way for you to also learn whatever that
we are going to upload this. We're going to upload this right now. Okay. And we want everybody to subscribe our channel, man. Come on.
Yeah, we have to.
Yes, definitely.
I don't have to give you another this thing, right? That someone will get that if they have to do that. And we are also going to be putting it on our social platforms. So please keep an eye, engage, like, share, retweet, etc. Please do all that. It kind of helps, right? All of us. We spend 1.5 hours of our time. Let's just make sure that the world knows about it. So, thank you.
Absolutely.
Suresh.
Thank you so much, Abhishank. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Abhishank. It was truly an erudite session. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye.